Hi. We went to go see Moonlight, an early screening of the new film by Barry Jenkins that's taking the festivals and Academy Award predictors by storm. And it's about this life of this kid, Chiron. It's just about his life as a gay black kid in the hood. We're gonna talk about the screening first.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
What in the fucking fuck was that? The representative from A24 comes down, gives the speech to an early screening that she says that everyone says for every show. Turn off your cell phones. We will be looking in the audience with night vision goggles.
Bullshit.
If we see you using your phone in the audience, we will kindly ask you and make you leave. It's like a goddamn Kim Kardashian paparazzi fest. What the fuck?
This movie should have been called Phone Light.
Fuck you! We're gonna go into this. This is a new movie. It doesn't come out until this Friday. Spoiler alert. We're gonna be talking about this in detail. So, if you wanna hear our final thoughts and scores out of 6 stars, just scroll to this time code over here, and there you'll have everything. Otherwise, you've been warned. I have never liked a movie so much and hated such an integral part of it. This is the worst fucking main character I have ever goddamn seen. There is nothing to this character outside of the fact that he is shy, gay, and black. And that is it. I don't know what he likes. I don't know what his favorite fucking food is.
I think that's just his character, Daniel.
No, it's a terribly written character.
That's how I felt.
Yeah, like,
that was just kind of his character. Like he was just he was a really passive person, and he's been like his entire life, especially like his relationship with his mom, he's just been like secondary. He's never had like a strong male role model.
He speaks up, he gets the shit beat out of him. He tries to stand up to people, he gets the shit beat out of them. So he learns to shut up, and bad things stop happening. That's his character.
You can write a passive character. You can write someone that's struggling with their identity. When I tell you that there is literally nothing to this human being other than what the plot and director wants him to be, there is nothing. This kid is a prop used to talk about the themes of masculinity in the black culture, talk about homophobia in the black culture, but this is not a person. The movie around him is great, but it completely sucks me out of it because every time he's on screen, all I have to do is listen to a speech that somebody gives about the themes of the movie. Even Christopher Nolan had the decent sense to write Batman, to write his main character well enough that I believe he's a functional human fucking being. Y'all yell at me if you want, I'm done.
I completely disagree.
Yeah, go for it.
What did you think about this movie, Brittany?
I mean, it wasn't like the best movie I've ever seen, but I don't understand your rage.
I will say, and I think you'll agree with me, this Barry Jenkins is a really great visual storyteller. And the visuals in this movie like blew me away. One of the first shots in the movie with Mahershala Ali it's like this panning shot, and it's just going around, and it's like 30 seconds, and it's like a great way to capture this community. There's a lot of imagery involving the ocean and moonlight, which, you know, symbolism and whatnot. That was really, really well done. I thought the music choices were very good as well. I always hate it when there's a key emotional moment and the movie comes in like Inception. I never felt that the music was overbearing at any points in this movie. It felt very natural, and there's a lot of points when there's just a huge absence of score. I also thought the performances were very good. Mahershala Ali, who we saw in Free State of Jones earlier this year, that movie was terrible.
He's in Luke Cage, right?
He's the villain in Luke Cage, which I haven't watched yet, but he was in House of Cards as well. I've always thought that he's like a really underrated actor, and personally, I'm thinking like best supporting actor for sure.
I would.
He's not in the movie.
Yeah, he's not in the movie that much. If I'm gonna say a performance,
Naomi Harris.
What are we talking about? The mom?
Yeah.
Yeah. Best supporting actress for Naomi Harris.
The fact of the movie made me hate her.
In like the Bond movies and this year in Our Kind of Traitor, she's always like playing these nice characters. I fucking hated this bitch in this movie. Like, she just pissed me off.
I kind of wish she'd have died.
Barry Jenkins also is a fantastic director when it comes to getting you in the mind of someone. When she's at her most despicable, the camera is close and at a wide lens, and there's no distractions. There's just a flat wall. So all you've got to focus on is this disgusting human being.
My favorite scene in the movie is when he beats the shit out of the bully, like with the chair. There's this guy that's like,
he's a bully, essentially.
Yeah, he's this bully.
Basically looks like if 2 Chainz butt-fucked A$AP Rocky and turned him into a little asshole.
Right before, like, as he's walking on this thing, for a moment, he just kind of pauses for a moment. And it's like, it's not like he stops and it's like this huge moment. It's just like, sort of like a break in his stride. And it's like, it's almost like he's regretting what he's about to do. But then so you kind of see the anger get back into his eyes and he just goes back in. And like that whole scene I thought was great.
Another thing, you mentioned the shots in the beginning, long tracking shots, long panning shots. Barry Jenkins has a great cinematographer on here. I'm going to put the name up. And seriously, that's, if you want something Oscar rate, the cinematography in here is gorgeous.
Yeah, cinematography for sure.
The thing it'll remind you most of is Birdman. While Birdman is deliberately shot as one take, this feels more like fluid motion. It almost feels animated. When you animate a movie, you draw a storyboard, right? So you have these, you draw each individual frame and you paint these pictures in your head. We talk about the scene of him hitting his bully over the head with a chair. You have him walking through the doors for the first time, and just he's in the middle of that frame, and that's one painting. And these paintings get you to eventually the low angle shot of him in the air with the chair like this.
Yeah.
It's fluid, and it is like watching a living, breathing comic book. If you can think about literature in visual panels, then yeah, that's the closest I could say.
I liked the character a lot. Chiron, is that, or not Chiron?
Chiron.
I think
it took me half the movie to realize what his fucking name actually
was. Thing is, like, when they said it on the title card,
I thought it was Chiron.
They spelled it.
When?
Like 2 times in the movie.
Yeah, that's
whenever
the thing.
It's like scene 2, it
well,
says
yeah.
Well, that's when I got it.
Well, see, when they did,
it's not that hard.
I thought it was Chiron.
When they put the title card up, I thought about the character from Greek mythology. I was like, fuck, it's like Chiron or whatever.
He's got like 3 or 4 different names.
The movie is divided up into 3 scenes. They're all based on different names that he has.
Well, 3 sections, because otherwise these are really long-ass scenes.
Yeah, well, that's, you know what I meant. Which, when it started off, I'm like, okay, this is a little pretentious. It could come off a little like, oh, we're so artsy. We divided into these.
This movie could?
No. I didn't find that at all, because a big hit with audiences last year was The Big Short, and it was divided into thirds the same way.
But didn't necessarily think that they needed to put the title cards up. I get it.
I think they do, because this is a movie about identity.
Yeah, I would have preferred that than like 10 years later.
Well, no, it's like I don't even think you have to do that. You just you see the character in the next team. You're like, you're like.
But here's the thing: in this movie, names are so important. You see the nicknames that he's given. Never is there a name that he chooses for himself.
Right.
Except, you could say at the end, but it's definitely influenced. At first, when he's a little kid, he's a runt of his community, so they call him Little. And that's derogatory. It's supposed to make fun of his height, and so he doesn't like that. And then, when he grows up into a teenager, he's just his name, Chiron. And some people call him Little, some people call him a faggot. When he's an adult, he chooses the nickname Black, which is given to him by his best friend, Kevin, from childhood. It is so important that these be split into 3 segments, because with Little, he has absolutely no control over it. And being a teenager, he's trying to struggle back, but again, he's not having that much control. And finally, near the end of the movie, he gets the most control. I won't say he gets control, but he has the most control.
Which was your favorite of the segments?
Probably the second one.
That's mine as well.
Just because I think the movie is strongest.
It's always fun seeing characters break.
Not even just the break, the stuff that the movie does, like I mentioned earlier, that wide-angle shot I thought was fantastic.
Yeah.
You get to see more of him than you normally do.
Criticisms that you were saying at the beginning, I feel like those would all be completely valid if you're just talking about the third section. Because I really didn't like the way they handled the character in the third section, because I felt like the first two sections of the movie were building towards something, and you didn't really get a payoff. The stuff with Kevin, I thought was great, but just with the character of Chiron, I guess maybe that was the point, that he just kind of like, he's just existing in life, and he doesn't really, he's just become sort of
following into the only footsteps he knows.
Yeah, he's just become aimless. But I don't know, I feel like you could have done something a little bit more interesting in the third section.
They ended it really abruptly. That bothered me.
I don't mind any of the story at all. I think the way he was throughout the third act works. He basically symbolizes the old standards of black masculinity, which is toughness, which is living the drug and crime stereotype lifestyle, which is being hard, which is you can't be gay. They have all these stereotypes in there just to show you that this is the portrait of black masculinity that we understand. And the movie never gives you a payoff because he's not completely comfortable shifting to the roles that he wants to be.
Maybe it's almost like he's fighting so hard for like acceptance that like once he doesn't even get that, but if he does get that, like he doesn't, at that point he doesn't even know what he wants to do.
Yeah, he kind of like buried his identity early on in his life.
Yeah.
Maybe never really figured out what it really was.
You can't really nominate someone for Best Actor unless you want to nominate 3 people.
I think the movie's, it's gonna get, like, it's definitely supporting for Naomi Harris and potentially supporting for Michelle Ali.
Original screenplay.
Definitely SAG award for Best Ensemble. This entire cast is fantastic.
You know what? I would honestly give you supporting actor, not for Mahershala Ali, but for the guy who plays adult Kevin. I think he's fantastic.
See, I would give it to Teenage Kevin over.
Would you give it to Teenage Kevin? That's weird.
Over, like, I think he gave the most layered performance.
Cinematography, I think this is some of the strongest work of the year. Easy.
Yeah, I still think my favorite so far is Neon Demon, but this would be a close 2 or 3.
Ooh, that's a tough one, because that's definitely, I don't know, it's 2 different movies.
I'd seen this sort of style done before. What they did in Neon Demons, like, I've never seen a film sort of do something like that.
Welcome back. If you scroll to the time code, this is where we have our final thoughts and scores out of 6 stars for the movie Moonlight.
Honestly didn't know what to think about this movie going in. We were originally going to go see Hacksaw Ridge today.
I'm really glad we saw this instead. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, but it's very hard for somebody like me to relate to some of the actions and stuff in this movie and some of the characters. Like, I'm never going to understand what it's like to live in this sort of culture. That being said, I think Barry Jenkins did a fantastic job at capturing the lifestyle of these characters. Maybe I can't relate to their situations, but I can relate just to the ideas of growing up and figuring out what kind of person you want to be. Cinematography is some of the best I've seen this year. The entire cast is absolutely fantastic. Naomi Harris, I believe, will be nominated for Best Supporting Actress. She's one of my favorite actresses working today. I love her in every movie, and this movie, you just hate this character so much. She's such a vile, disgusting person that it just makes me angry. Mahershala Ali, as I mentioned, a really underrated actor who was great in this movie. I think could get a Best Supporting Actor. All of the 3 actors who played Chiron, I don't know any of their names, but they were all great. They're not going to get nominated because it's hard to nominate a lead when it's played by 3 different people. I was really impressed by this movie. I don't know if this will necessarily be like in my top 10 of the year, but it's definitely up there with the films I've seen so far. So I'm going to go pretty high with this one. I'm going to give this a 5 out of 6.
Damn. Just gonna say ditto, basically. Except I think this would be in my top 10. I really like this.
It's definitely like in the top like 25. I don't know if it's quite up in this list.
A big difference.
Well, I've seen like like 75 movies this year. Like this is in the top upper like 3rd, 4th.
I only have a few problems with the movie. Some of the scenes were just really abrupt, like the ending. All of the scenes just kind of led to nothing, and I kind of felt flat. So for that, I think I'd give it a 4.5.
Everything in this movie is Oscar rate except for the main character. And that was such a huge blow to me that this knocked it down a strong couple of notches because I was getting upset. This, on paper, is one of the best depictions of, like, a burgeoning love that I've seen in a long time. But, man, I could not get into this character. I can't give this movie a negative rating. It dropped me that hard. I gotta go 3.5.
4.3. It's the HK verdict, solid verdict. I do also think that this is one that is worth seeing on the big screen, because I just think some of the visual stuff and also just sort of the immersive experience. I don't it's not something that I'll,
if people can keep their phones up.
Yeah, like, go see this on like an afternoon in the week, like when there's not going to be anybody there.
And you know what? Support this kind of movie, because this movie...
It told a real story.
Yeah.
I can appreciate that.
It's also like an important story about, masculinity.
It does challenge a lot of previously held norms, and I think it does it, for the most part, really goddamn well.
The audience's reaction kind of...
Did it disturb
made me realize, No, I enjoyed it.
The audience reaction.
No, I enjoyed it. Kind of made you realize how progressive our society has become. Like, they were all for this man.
I felt like they were like mocking it.
So did I.
No, they clapped and cheered whenever.
No, I felt like they were like. I felt like this was like a comedy to them. Like,
I think the movie means it to be romantic, and these people were jeering.
Yeah.
If anything, I think this is important because it shows you that these depictions in black culture, like, there's still a homophobic element to it all.
I completely disagree, but
I'm with Daniel on this
we
one.
won't
Like,
really know, because we can only have our own opinions.
And none of us have black friends, so.
It really was that one jukebox scene whenever they're looking at each other.
But like in a cute way.
Yeah, it was cute. It was romantic. It felt, like there was a lot of emotion built up over the years, and they're laughing because they're like, oh, he's gonna give him
cackling kind of laughter. It was like cheering on kind of laughter.
I really don't think so.
I have too much faith in people. That's it.
The movie talks about homosexuality so often. I can't believe our audience was surprised when, gasp, the kid turns out to be gay.
They made fun of his femininity, which he didn't really have. So.
That's part of the culture.
Yeah.
If you don't stick with that tough persona,
if they saw it in him, or if they
even young Kevin says it, where he's like, look, it doesn't matter if you are or aren't, you have to show it. And so that's an old standard of masculinity.
Say what you wanna say.
I hate that song.
And let the words flow.
I fucking hate this song so much.
Honestly, I wanna see you be gay.
I thought you were gonna go there. God damn it. Fuck.
You disappoint us.
That's what my dad says.
Does he do crack?
No.
Be grateful.
I feel like this is the Brokeback Mountain for this decade.
No, I do too, because I was reading, I think I was reading David Ehrlich's review, and he was talking about how, like, that was questioning, they both sort of question masculinity by taking these masculine stereotypes and putting it with gay characters. Yeah, so that was with, the idea of the super masculine cowboy, and this was like the super masculine black man.
Was it?
Did you feel that? Did you feel that? I liked your elbow. Did you feel it? Did you feel it?
Yes, I felt it.
Okay.
I need to get down with that. Down with the sickness.
I thought you wanted to get down with elbow licking.
So if you like this review,
I limp for that face.
Please click the like button out there. Make sure to subscribe. Growing in subscribers every day. We got Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Make sure to follow us on all of those. Check out my blog, liammgaughian.wordpress.com. I review every movie I see. We're going to be back soon with Doctor Strange.
Fuck yeah.
We're going to go see it in IMAX 3D. Super excited to see Benedict Cumberbatch.
After that, we're going to try to go see Hacksaw Ridge this weekend.
We're just going to have so many reviews coming in the next few months.
We're in the breath of Oscar season. It's going to be fun.
I can't wait for all the reviews and adventures that we have together.
Yep. It's not gay
if it's in a three-way.